Good morning, starshine. The Earth says hello.
I'm a firm believer that it's much easier to hypothetically get 10 million views on one video than 100,000 on 100. And part of why it's much easier, in my opinion, is like if you make a really good video, it's just so evergreen and it never dies. When you open up YouTube and look at the videos, they're just serving you whatever they think you'll like the best, you know? And so if you just make a great video, then they'll just keep serving it and never stop, you know, which is why it's much easier to make one great video than a bunch of mediocre ones.
If you post 87,000 times a day on social and the content's bad and you don't know the creative strategy of the platform, nothing's gonna happen. So it's not just volume. You could do 1,000 push-ups a day incorrectly and not get muscle.
I would rather have quality over quantity, but quantity beats just quality. I would personally prefer to have better stuff and give away as many secrets as I possibly can to get people to start taking steps towards it.
Memory is like a wave and your mind is a beach. And you can be consistent, have a set of small waves and over time cover that whole beach. But the moment you settle, the tide will pull you back and you'll no longer cover the beach. The memory of you fades. Or you could be one big massive tidal wave where you don't just cover the beach, you cover the land. You pass the beach for miles to come. You affect the landscape and leave a significantly lasting memory. However, even then, that over time can fade. And you have to have the capability to make another tidal wave. And that's incredibly tough. And that's kind of the choice that you need to make.
Wasn't that just magnificent?
Here we are again. For those joining me once again after my last video, welcome. I'm pleased that you decided to revisit my channel or maybe even subscribe. For all who are first timers, I welcome you as well. Every single video we will have this small moment of silence. This one was shorter than the last one, but even though you can still use it for like a full breath, just calm yourself from the dopamine-inducing content. As you saw in that little montage, today we will be discussing something very special, something relating to Willy Wonka.
Good morning, starshine. The Earth says hello.
Now, this is not your average film video once again. While this could have easily been me just rambling on about one of my favorite characters of all time and one of my favorite movies of all time, I'd rather like to focus on a single line from this film. A line that has stuck with me and has stayed with me from the very first time I watched it, which was probably the moment, like the year it came out. Roll the clip.
I can't put my finger on it. Candy's always been the only thing I was ever certain of, and now I'm just not certain at all. I don't know which flavors to make, I don't know which ideas to try, I'm second guessing myself, which is nuts. I've always made whatever candy I felt like, you know. That's just it, isn't it? I make the candy I feel like, but now I feel terrible, so the candy's terrible. You're very good.
This single line ties in with one of my favorite concepts that I am a firm believer in. When I feel bad, the product is bad. It really ties in with one of my favorite philosophies of quality over quantity. The importance of quality is undeniable. For a long time, I was posting quantity content on my channel. You can easily scroll back and you can see I was uploading every day. I even made videos for an entire month before I went to Japan. So we had a vacation to Japan, starting for an entire month. And so before we left on that vacation, because I knew I couldn't make videos in Japan, we were going to constantly be traveling, I had to make all the videos for that month before we had the vacation. So around 5 days before we left, I recorded everything. So 30 days worth of content. And in those 5 days, I had to like edit them all. They came out shit. Every single video, I want to delete all of them. They were not valuable. They were shittily edited. They were clickbaity. I hate those. They're not even part of my channel anymore. I don't recognize them as part of my channel. They are quantity. They are the perfect example of quantity content. An example of quality content is the content I'm going to produce now, but also videos like the How to Be Obese guide or the very first video I made about male abuse. These are like passion projects for me. Those were videos that I really enjoyed making and I loved publishing and editing them. The same goes for my previous video and also the video about like the full guide about sleep and happiness. Those kinds of videos are the videos I love making. They are my authentic self. They really show my character. They are quality videos and they give I consider them as good and they're valuable. They give value to you and that is the most important part of for a self-improvement YouTuber is giving value to the viewer. And often this is really lacking for most self-improvement YouTubers and YouTubers and creators in general. So this, even if you're not a creator, this still applies to you. But if you want to be a YouTuber and if you want to be a creator or are currently a creator, I really believe this video will be so valuable for you to just listen to. And once again, all I ask of you is that you give me your full, undivided attention. Just look straight into my eyes and just listen. Okay? I want to start off with a concept or an article that I read called 1000 True Fans. A mistake that people often make is they want to be famous. They want fame. They prioritize the numbers over their purpose and the quality of their content. So what they will do is they will play the finite game. They're doing it for the views, for the clicks, for the subscribers. And eventually, they don't really enjoy their work anymore because they're just posting to post. They're posting something to get the views. They might love what they're posting, and if that's the case, then that's fine. We'll get into that later. But if you're posting every day and you're not really enjoying what you're posting anymore, you're just posting it because it will get views, I'm asking you to drop that mindset. The views, the numbers are not important. They do not matter. That's why I want to get into the concept of 1000 true fans. Imagine you're posting something like Mr. Beast. You know, that type of thumbnail and that kind of, if you don't click a like button in 5 seconds, you have a spider in your bed and pee. Like fucking that kind of shit in the first 5 seconds. Imagine you're posting that type of content. Sure, it will grab attention. Sure, it will get views. Sure, it will get you subscribers and get you fame. But ask yourself, what type of subscribers, what type of fans will you get? Imagine you are Mr. Beast. You're in public, you have this fan base. So imagine like the Mr. Beast fan base. Look, like, which is pretty much like the age, kids of the age of 8 to 12 or something like that. There's also 16 or 17-year-olds, probably you watching as well. But even then, you know, imagine the typical average Mr. Beast fan. And he comes up running to you and starts to engage with you. And that's fine, that's fun, okay, yeah, that what one viewer. But it's one after the other, after the other, after the other. Imagine the type of fan that runs up to you. Be honest. Would you like to engage with that type of fan? Open your eyes. Because I had to save you from that imagination. It would suck. If you imagine the typical Mr. Beast fan, like the typical fan of most YouTubers that post this type of content that will get them the views, that will get them the subscribers, they hate their fan base. They don't want to be around their fan base because they're fucking annoying. They're cringe and annoying. They're like, oh, they're children, but even if they're not children, they're still gonna be so needy. They don't even treat you like a human being. They treat you as like this entity. And that's exactly what this article talks about, is that you don't actually want to be famous. Because being very famous with a like shit fan base, you don't want that. If you're famous with a very good fan base, which once again, that's what this video is about, very good, very good. But what you want to aim for is 1000 true fans, 1000 true fans, which means true fans are the people that will buy your content. They constantly watch you, they support you, when you release something, they will buy it. They will buy something when you release it because They know when you release something, it's gonna be good. You want these types of fans. 1,000 of them are worth more than millions of degenerates. Mr. Beast has over 100 million subscribers. If you have like 5,000 true fans, those 5,000 true fans are worth more than those 100 and fucking like 100 and however much he has now million subscribers. Because okay, yeah, they might buy his product, right? They might buy his product like his Mr. Beast chocolate, but even then, it's not like a fulfilling product that he's making. He's not making a product that fulfills his heart and it's like, oh, I'm giving so much value to these people and they're buying it to like actually help themselves because they know when I make something it's good. They're just buying it for the name, right? They're just buying it because it has Mr. Beast on it. They're not buying it for the actual product. They're buying it because it has Mr. Beast on it. That's not the same thing. What you want are 1,000 true fans. So stop looking at the numbers. Likes ain't cash. It's about monetizing what you create. That's important. It's not about the number itself. So now that you get the concept of 1,000 true fans, let's get into quality over quantity. A lot of self-improvement YouTubers focus on quantity. When you look at YouTubers like Far From Weak, they will just pump out this clickbaity content that will get them attention, like
7 principles that will get you rich. Oh, 5 habits of successful men. 10 ways to fuck a girl.
or get a girlfriend, like that kind of content, and they upload every single day this kind of clickbaity shit content. But the thing is, it's not helping anyone. Quantity is not all bad. If you're able to upload quality content that you enjoy, that is valuable every single day, then go ahead. If you can upload authentic, quality, valuable content every day, then go ahead. Absolutely fine. If you upload shit clickbait content every day just in order to play the game of numbers, of scores, views, subscribers, instead of just focusing on the monetization and the actual fans, stop. Just stop. Don't even start if you were planning to do that kind of stuff. Let's go back to Far From Weak, that uploads that kind of content every single day. He's a self-improvement YouTuber. What these YouTubers do, and that's the big flaw in self-improvement, and especially YouTubers like him, is they post this kind of content. What they do is they give you a plate, and they just have a bunch of ingredients on it. So let's say like the 7 principles for wealth video. And in this video, he just gives a bunch of things that you agree with, but you're like, okay, but what do I do with this? So what they do is they give you a plate with a bunch of ingredients and you're like, oh yeah, broccoli, I like broccoli. Oh yes, tasty indeed. Oh, carrot, oh yeah, I like carrot, yeah. Oh, meat, I like meat as well, yes. And then there's jam. Well, I like jam, but I like all of this, separately. And maybe some things, but what do I do with this? What do I do with this plate? What do I do with this? And that's the big flaw. They give you the plate with a bunch of ingredients, and you're like, I agree with all of this. I like all of this. But how do I make the meal? How do I make the meal called success? How do I prepare and succeed in making this meal? They don't do that. They only give you the ingredients. These different factors. That's the quantity flaw in these YouTubers, because they just pump out every single day, even though what they could do is just make one big video about money and take all these different factors that they're now putting in their clickbait quantity content and teaching the process. Because the thing is, we learn these factors through a process. For example, your time is valuable, or giving value is one of the factors, or like some of the factors. Right. How do I combine these? And that's the flaw. It's like these people are now watching this content, thinking they're improving, thinking like with the idea of I'm improving, and then they could just go on to the next dopamine video and on to the next. And they really believe I'm watching self-improvement content, thus I am improving my life. But they're not. They're just watching dopamine shit that's not helping them. And often they won't take action on these videos and what they learn in these videos because they don't know how to. Because these YouTubers do not teach the process of how to actually improve. They just give like a bunch of buzzwords and like, okay, fuck off now. Do it yourself. Oh, value your time. Good luck. Bye-bye now. It doesn't actually help anyone. That knowledge was, people most of the time already knew it. And that's why they do it, because they make content that people already agree with. And thus, people will be like, oh yeah, I agree with this. So I like this person now because I agree with what he says. Right? People already agree with it. People already knew about it. And they don't teach how to actually use it. They don't teach the process, because everything in these videos is learned through a process. But they don't give you the process. They only give you the buzzwords, the factors. If they were to make quality content and be authentic and give value, teach this, just make a authentically, like a autistically and authentically detailed guide on how to actually become successful, that might get less views. It probably will. This video is going to be very long as well. Thus, it will get less views, probably. But the value I provide and the value they could provide in these full guides, that will get them the fans. And that will be like, they will be so authentic. The video will be so good and so valuable. That will get them the true fans that actually are like, you changed my life. No one has been like the 7 principles for wealth video and it's like, oh, this changed my life. No one is doing that. Everyone's just sitting there watching and they're like, oh yeah, I'm improving. They're not. They're not. So combine these two. Make stuff that is authentic, good, and has value, that is valuable for other people. The more value, the better. And then with that, you can get those true fans. Don't be disappointed with the views and subscribers you're getting. Because the views you are getting, those will be true fans. So now that you know everything about true fans and quality over quantity, I want to focus a bit more on Wonka himself. After all, the video title has with Wonka, and the video primarily was about quality over quantity, but I still want to combine Wonka in this a little bit, so you didn't feel like you're clickbaited into a video about Wonka, and then you just got a whole rant about quality over quantity. So let me just quickly stop recording right here, and we'll get back to it later. Hello everyone, before we move on to the next section, this is just like a kind of post-editor me, I just want to tell you that I want to give you a quick lesson about quality over quantity once again, before we hop on to the Wonka section of this video that you're all waiting for. I know, just stay a little, I'm gonna keep talking, so have patience, right? Anyways, enjoy the nice pause on my face like that. One little thing about quality over quantity once again. If you are willing, or if you were thinking about starting YouTube or are already busy with YouTube, this might be like a mindset that you have, which is, I will make the clickbaity popular content right now, and then after making that kind of content and I already have like an audience, then I will make the videos I actually want to make, the ideas I actually want to talk about. If this is your mindset, let me just quickly tell you that purpose goes above everything. And I want to discuss with you a chapter of my personal religion, something I'm going to mention in every single video, the way of the superior man. Chapter 1 of the way of the superior man. Don't hope for the completion of anything. There is no, I'll do this and then I will do what I actually want to do. Oh, I'll go to university right now and then I'll actually start with my business, which I want to do right now. Oh, I'll start making the popular content now and then I'll make the videos that I actually want to make. You get what I'm saying? There is no and then. Do what you actually want to do right now and then just continue with it. There is no completion. Once you start the clickbaity content and you see the attention you're getting, you're never going to get to the den, because from now on you're so addicted to the dopamine of the likes and the subscribers and the views that you're just going to continue with the shit content that you don't actually want to make. Start right now with your purpose. Be authentic. Be your true self. Grow with your audience. Give your audience some value. Your true fans will relate to your authentic self and will be similar to your authentic self. The people who are able to listen to who you really are, to the content you really want to make, like I'm doing right now, those are the people that you want around you. If you imagine meeting your fans, you want to meet fans that actually treat you like a human being, that view you like almost a friend or a mentor. You don't want fans that just treat you like this entity of like, oh my god, Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, like that, you know? You don't want those kinds of people around you. You want people that are like, actually, they're almost a brotherhood, but you don't even know them, which is why monetize your content through a community. And I want to just make this also, while I'm at it, a quick call to action that I have a free community. Watch the video below. It's very good that you're watching this kind of content and changing your life, but it can get very lonely. So so after watching this video, just as an actionable step, watch the video below about the free community. And then if you're excited and if you agree with what I say in that video, please do join that community. And I welcome you to Data Moon, which is a free community. Anyways, I just want to give that quick little heads up. And now we'll get into the Wonka section. Willy Wonka is weird.
That's all, folks.
Well, that's not all we're going to discuss. It is a large portion of what we're going to say, and it is a large part of his character as well. Wonka is clearly quite socially awkward, from the weird gestures and actions the sometimes creepy comments,
You're a very lucky little boy.
to the outright disregard for human life.
They'll be selling him by the pound all over the world.
No, I wouldn't allow it. The taste would be terrible. Can you imagine Augustus-flavored chocolate-coated gloop? Ew. No one would buy it.
I've tried it on like 20 Oompa Loompas, and each one ended up as a blueberry. It's just weird.
He does not know how to deal and get along with people, largely explained by the lack of father figure in his life. All Wonkas are different though. The one from the first movie is damn near psychopathic.
Is the Grizzly Reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing
But is less socially awkward. He can actually be quite charming at times. The Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, played by Johnny Depp, leans far more on the socially awkward side, to the point you're quite surprised he can even get a sentence out.
And the rest of you must be their
Parents.
Yeah.
But this also makes him incredibly enjoyable to watch. And Mead Canyon's Wonka is...
Thought you taking a peek there, Charlie.
Need I say more? And then there's Modern Wonka, which is just a wacky, fun guy with no depth whatsoever, which in turn makes this version, which was designed to be more crazy, zany, wacky and funny, ultimately less fun than the other two Wonkas, which were pretty much designed to make you feel uncomfortable. Quite ironic, isn't it? The first Wonkas, not that one, were weird, but you knew they were a good person ultimately inside. While with this Wonka, he is so overloaded with good, maybe even more like nice guy. You wouldn't even for a split second believe that he had anything else going for him. This actually makes him weirder than all the other Wonkas combined. Because this Wonka is so overly perfect, it's like, what the fuck is he hiding? Now, everything I said about Willy Wonka up until this moment was scripted. You might have seen that I kind of looked away sometimes, and it was a bit less natural than how I usually present my videos. So now, I just want to go into a pure passion rant about Willy Wonka. I'm just recommending you, if you can't keep your attention for very long and you're disgusted by excitement, click off right now, because we're gonna go on a nonsensical, non-scripted fucking rant about Willy Wonka. The scripted, thought out part is gone now, you know? Everything's gonna be through each other. It's just gonna be me rambling, like I'm rambling to myself or a friend. So get ready for that. Let me take my fucking water. Everything is unscripted from this. I'm not even gonna edit anything. Literally, I'm gonna drink water on camera. It's not gonna be edited. Enjoy the awkward silence. That was a bad idea. I drank too much. I don't know why I did that. Anywho, Willy Wonka. As I said, he is socially awkward, at least in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And the original Wonka is a fucking psychopath. But this new Wonka doesn't have any of that. He is so bland to the point he's not even enjoyable. And that's the ironic part, as I said. This is supposed to be the fun and wacky Wonka. The modern Wonka. The Wonka that children look at and are like, oh my god, you made Mr. Beast. Like that kind of Wonka, you know? But in turn, that's exactly what makes him less enjoyable than the Wonkas that were designed to almost, no, not to sort of, they were designed to weird you out. You were not supposed to really like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's Wonka. You were almost meant to kind of dislike him. You were meant to feel awkward and uncomfortable while watching him. But in turn, that made him so funny to watch. Every single thing he does. You remember the scene, I'm going to play it on screen as well. The scene where, not Violet Beauregard, Veruca Salt. The scene where Veruca Salt's father hands Wonka like his business card because he works in the nut industry, and Wonka just straight up throws it away. Those little gestures, those little moments make Wonka such a funny and enjoyable character that the new Wonka just does not have, because he is too good to be enjoyable. He would never just do something like that because he tries to appeal too much to like children in the audience that have to like Wonka. It's like they want to sell Wonka figures and they're like, no one's gonna buy figurines of someone who's so mean to people. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make him super nice. Nothing's wrong with him. Nothing could be wrong with him. And it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. I haven't even watched the movie, but from every single thing I see, the trailer, the clips, the reviews, everything, you can just sense that this movie is just sensory overload of just shit. Just shit. It's that typical movie where they try so hard to let you have fun, to make you have fun while watching a movie. That's like, okay, yeah, I'm not bored, but it's not good either. It's not good. Being very exciting and flashy and colorful doesn't mean you're automatically good. I'm not even, you see that voice crack? I'm not gonna cut it out. That doesn't make you good. In fact, that makes you super bland because it shows that you were not willing to take the risk of actually giving Wonka some depth or making him controversial, making him kind of awkward. You didn't have the balls to make like a deep story about Wonka. I was just watching the record. This is like another post editor me. Hello there, I'm here again, not post editor, but I was rewatching the rant I just made. So this is going to be the only edit in the rant, and I just said the last line you heard at this moment before editing this. The last line you heard is that they were too afraid to make like a deep story about Wonka. And that just brought me back to an idea I had while watching the trailer. And I had that same exact thought about how the fuck is he like, how is this the same Wonka? How is this the same Wonka? He's like with a kid, and how is this the same Wonka as in the movie? I was like, unless the only way this makes sense is like they kill the kid in the movie. They kill the kid in the movie and they just make Wonka go clinically insane to the point he's so traumatized by losing a kid. He just doesn't know how to handle kids. And that's why like he does not care about all of the kids that like kind of die in the original Wonka and the the not remake, the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as well. That would perfectly explain how he's like so fucked up and socially awkward due to the trauma of just losing this kid. I was almost thinking about this. If they do this in like a Puss in Boots way, where no one really expects much of this movie, and then they hit you with something like that, that would have made it such a good movie. And they would have everything you see in the trailer would have only been like the first half hour of the movie, and then the kid dies, and the rest, like 1.5 hour, is just Wonka, like as if he's like the Joker dealing with this shit. That would have made it such a good movie. And that would have taken balls. Because of the same thing with Puss in Boots. What was the trailer of Puss in Boots, if you remember correctly? It was where he was like in the cat, what is it again? A retired home for cats or something. Or home for retired cats, or whatever the fuck it was. He was like with the mother. That was a trailer. And everyone thought, oh, this is just gonna be like this another movie where Perito is just like this toy plushie they can sell. And then the movie came out, and it was so deep and so cool, and it had depth and had such complex and deep topics and themes it was talking about. And this was a kids movie. It was adults can and should watch it, but it was pretty much aimed at kids. And this movie understood so perfectly fine how like kids are actually pretty smart and they know these concepts. And if Wonka had done the same thing, it would have had my respect. It would have had everyone's respect, but it didn't. So that's just a tiny idea that popped up into my mind when I heard the sentence, they didn't have the balls to make something deep. Enjoy the rest of the rant. I'll go into like the child stuff more into the rant, like how it doesn't make sense that he's with a child and stuff. So enjoy that. Bye. Because how in the fuck, explain this to me. This is based on, because the Wonka movie is based on the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. In the original movie, Willy Wonka is clearly a fucking psychopath. You cannot debate this. The Wonka in this movie, while he can be charming at times, is a psychopath. There is something wrong with him. He does not know how to go along with kids. But at the same time, this movie is also disliked by the author of the original books, Roald Dahl. Meanwhile, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, with Willy Wonka played by Johnny Depp, is accepted by the wife and daughter of Roald Dahl because Roald Dahl had passed away. And Tim Burton made a better version of the books. But the original Wonka was really made as a commercialized something to literally sell Wonka bars. Yeah. The more you know, a little fact for you. So the original Wonka was kind of made to sell a product, due to which the casting and the filming process of that movie was so unethical and horrendous that people almost died. Well, not almost died, but they got severely injured during the shooting of this film. So it's not a very good movie. Let me just say it that way. I know it's a classic, but I never enjoyed it that much. Not nearly as much as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I know it has its appeal, and I recognize the appeal that it has, but it was just nothing for me. But even then, the Wonka in that movie is so memorable. The scenes where he's in where he's like just so weird and psychopathic are so memorable. And then you watch the new Wonka, which is supposed to be a younger self of that Wonka. And you watch him and you remember that in the movie, both movies and the book, children pretty much fucking die, right? Especially in the original movie. In the original movie, Veruca Salt just falls down into an oven. She just falls to her doom. I don't even think we know what happens to her, right? So all these children basically get imploded and fat, and they get sucked into tubes and they almost drown, or they get elongated and teleported in tiny bits, and Wonka just does not care. He does not care. So remember that Wonka, that did not care about human life whatsoever. Except Charlie. And was damn near psychopathic. Remember, you see that vision in your mind? Yeah, you have the vision, right? Let me just give you a little clip, right? Yeah, you have that vision of Wonka? Good. Now look at this clip from the trailer of the Wonka movie.
Every good thing in this world started with a dream.
See anything wrong? Let me play another clip, right?
This is gonna be the greatest chocolate shop.
See anything wrong here? Let me play just one more clip. One more clip, right? One more clip.
I got an idea.
Where do we start?
Making chocolate, of course.
Do you see anything wrong? Wonka, in this movie, is friends, pretty much best friends it seems, with a child. And he knows perfectly well how to get along and handle a child. Now you might just say, oh, but that explains how he was so good with Charlie. How the fuck was how was he good with Charlie? Do you remember the office scene? You remember the scene in the office with Wonka and Charlie? You call that like a good parental figure? Or a friendly figure towards kids, like Santa Claus? Wouldn't say so. Willy Wonka in the Wonka movie is supposedly good with kids. If there's one thing we learned from the books and the movies, it is that Willy Wonka does not know how to get along or deal with children and people in general. Yet this movie pretends like he does. So I don't know if he has dementia or something and just forgot about everything he did with those kids, but it doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what happened to that girl. Maybe I don't want to know, but I don't think it's anything good. I don't think her family saw her ever again. We need to start a conspiracy theory about this. I know Matt Pat is gone. Matt Pat is gone. We have to take over the ropes. Matt Pat is gone. Let's make a new film theory. And let's discuss what the fuck happened to this girl and Wonka. Because he was such a good guy and such a normal, wacky guy back then. And suddenly he turned to a psychopath that doesn't know how to get along with children. What happened there? We have to find out. Let's go. We're starting a whole lore about Willy Wonka. Jesus, what the fuck did this video turn into, man? This is getting way too long. 90%, 99% will have clicked off, but it's whatever. For anyone still watching me and engaging in this, I really... You are my true fans. I appreciate you so much because you can clearly tell I love making these videos. I love talking and I just enjoy it so much. So for these people still watching, I hope you enjoy it just as much. And I'm so appreciative of people like you. You are the people that I want to engage with. You're the type of people that I want inside like my community, in my brotherhood, in our tribe, because that's where you belong, man. We can imagine like how I'm talking to you right now. You're like excited and laughing with me. We can have hour-long calls like this. I can give full-on lectures like this. Of course, it's gonna be around self-improvement and not Willy Wonka, but still, we can make some movie stuff. We can make in the future. I'm absolutely gonna do movie stuff. You bet on it. That's like a little hint towards the future that might be in like a year, 2 years, but it's gonna be there eventually. So, once again, I'm gonna do a little call out to the fact that I have a free tribe, and you should watch that first link. You should click that first link and watch that video right now and join our tribe. I thank you so much for watching this video. And that's what Wonka's ultimate philosophy has done for me. The philosophy of quality over quantity, which clearly the new owners of like the Willy Wonka name franchise have forgotten about. Because you already know they're just gonna pump out quantity shit now with like the name Willy Wonka instead of putting out quality we want. Because apparently, I never actually read the book. The Glass Elevator is also a very good book that should get adapted, but it hasn't been adapted yet. And what do they make instead of that? Shitty bland Wonka. We gotta get Johnny Depp back. Make a Wonka universe. Meat Canyon, Wonka, Willy Wonka from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory Wonka, Mr. Beast Wonka. Get all of them in there. The Wonka multiverse. Fuck this, man. What does this video turn into? Being weak is nothing to be ashamed of. Staying weak is. Cheers, guys.